Hey, what's good, peoples, man? Before we get this episode started, it'd be dope if you toss us a like, a subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on those bell notifications, man. We truly appreciate it.
You're not my man. You're not my man. You're a genius.
And we are live. I am just enjoying that when it's not us going through the shenanigans of the episodes. We got another iteration of the Who's Man segment of the NotYamanz podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John D. Contradiction with my homeboy, my sidekick, man. It's my partner in crime, Reckless, man. Reckless out here, Reckless DWR. If you don't know who he is, you should be ashamed of yourself because he's out here. He is one of the biggest supporters on the internet of just rap, period, but of his hood more than anyone else. He deserves a badge, maybe or a hat, some sort of camp.
I got a hat from y'all at least. That's something.
I still got hats too, but this is gonna be a super, super dope one. Artist, please introduce yourself to everybody who is going to be checking this bad boy out.
What is up? It is I, January, the artist. I am the artist on the panel today. So hello. I am born and raised in the Bay Area. Stand up, Hayward to be exact. I ain't scared to rap Hayward. And I'm just out here. I've been singing since I can talk, but I took music very seriously. Let's say it's been just about 10 years now, just really grinding in the studio. So here I am, January the artist, a finished product.
Good shit.
Sheesh. That's, thinking about it, I feel like that's like a big number, but I'm like, yeah, I've been in music probably a tiny bit longer, and it's upsetting because it's like, man, it doesn't feel like it's that long because it becomes second nature. You just love it. You breathe it. But yo, that's dope. That's real artist shit right there because a lot of people give up. They quit for little bits at a time. One project didn't go the way I wanted to. They don't fully realize like the business side is not what they're really into and all that good stuff. But yo, salute to you. 10 years is crazy. That's dope.
Yeah, man. I think your passion needs to be, first of all, a passion. Otherwise, you won't make it. You won't continue because it's hard. The music industry is hard. Just putting stuff out and not getting the responses that you may have felt when you created it, and you're thinking, oh, this is about to blow up. Everybody's about to fuck with this because I do, And then when you don't get those responses, that enough can end somebody's career. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's very disheartening. And it's like the one thing that a lot of people don't preach in something as beautiful as the music industry. Because I mean, at the end of the day, getting paid or just getting the recognition and the love or having people hear something that you're creating there's always going to be a beautiful thing. But what people don't realize is balance. And that's just, in everyday life, but you need that balance. Like there's got to be bad for there to be good. It's always got to have that balance. And all we see, consumers see is flashing, money on my arm and flashing shit, big crowds and all that stuff. But they don't see like, oh, how long you computer screen tan because you over here, looking at shit online and algorithms and shit, you know what I'm saying? Losing sleep and all that stuff. They don't see that side.
Computer screen tan. I've heard that. Oh, man. Oh, that sounds like it's deadly.
Yeah, it's a real thing. This is being on a computer all day. I feel it. Like I'll blink sometimes in the mirror and see Google across my forehead and shit. It's stressful.
I mean, and even the beat makers, man, they be on that screen. They be on that screen, man, for hours.
Yeah, the beat makers, I give them a little more like they're a little lucky to me because beat makers can like succeed and they can still go out in public.
They can do whatever and they get paid still.
Like Ninth Wonder could walk into a fucking mall and people ain't gonna be like, oh shit, that's Ninth Wonder, unless it's like me or a hip hop head type person. But like he's good, he's chilling.
Yeah, it's true. They are behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're quietly chilling. Press those buttons, get that tan. You know what I'm saying? Get that free tan.
Yeah.
Before Reckless, I know he got his questions and all that. I got a question. So, it's a very simple one, but how'd you get your name?
Well, January is my real name, government name.
Oh, nice.
And with that being said, you know, it being unique in itself, I didn't know what else to call myself as a stage name. Yeah. And January alone, oddly enough, was taken on Spotify. There's some artists on there named January. So when I submitted my first song that I put out, it went to her track list. And I was like, what? I was really confused. So I had to change my name. And then I just added the artist onto it because that's who I am. I am not just a singer, but I am a full-on artist. I even am an artist with my hands. You know, I can draw, I can paint. I'm just a all-encompassing artist in whatever way that you can express art. I do it. So that's why I call myself the artist. Okay,
that's fire. You ever feel like the January that yours went to under is probably like, oh, this person's the artist. They think they're better than me.
Yeah.
You feel like
Hopefully.
One of these days I'm gonna buy her name and I'm gonna just be January.
Hey, that's a real goal. But that's like a legit dope goal too. You got to challenge. You got to challenge her. You got to be like,
I'm coming for that. But I got used to the artist, so you know, as you can have different names. You know, rappers do it all the time. So I also go by JTA for short. You know, that's my acronym, JTA. I think it's kind of cool.
Okay.
So.
Hey, it's got a good ring to it. I was more, well, I just see now I know that was your government name because in my head I was like, okay, I was thinking of, I probably went way too deep, but that's very light-skinned of me. But I was thinking of like, I'm like, maybe this got to do with horoscopes and all that. You know,
same boy in January and all that.
I was relating it to the music too because I was like, oh, this music got like got a nice feel to it, but it's a little dark, for the stuff that I've been bumping. So I'm like, it's got a bit of a coldness to it. And I'm like, maybe that's the weather, the season. I'm light skin shit. I'm breaking it down. I brought out some stones, but.
No, I like that. Go deep. That's the way to go. The hell? Nobody wants to scratch the surface. You don't get anywhere if you scratch the surface.
Yeah, that's true. That's the fun of music. Just, hey, let it take you where it takes you.
And with music, you interpret it how you want. So you just interpreted my name in a way that literally made sense, and it is valid. So
I'll take it.
She'll take it too. She'll roll with the next interview,
Yeah.
That should be your thing. Just guess somebody's name before you even know anything about it. See how accurate you are.
I usually do, and if I'm wrong, I'm very upset about it. I'm pretty upset about it. That's when the reviews come in.
But you're so right about that. I think that my name and the season of my name does reflect me a lot. It is a time of more darkness, and it is more cold. And when you think about these things, you mean the opposite, light and warmth. Makes you feel good, that type of stuff. I don't really make music like that. I'm just gonna, not yet at least. I haven't done it yet, at least. What I've put out, it does have more of a chiller vibe. So definitely.
Yeah, it's got like for me, if I had to classify it in, again, a very light-skinned way, it's got like a stay-at-home type, you know what I'm saying? Type vibe, not like I'm going out, not like I'm getting a breeze. Like, no, I'm chilling. I'm comfortable. I got a little blanket on that probably don't cover my entire body, but I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable.
The waist down or the waist up. You got to pick one.
Yeah, you got to pick one depending on. No, but that's dope.
It's funny. But totally. I am going to go in another vibe, though. I'm going to try to go in another direction. More warm.
Yeah, that's the perfect time to now. I mean,
things are going to get warmer. There's more sunlight now that daylight savings is over, Yeah.
It's time. Daylight savings is over forever, apparently, according to the government.
Hopefully.
Cutting in and out. I'm sorry.
Oh, we're losing you. There we go. She back. Oh, yeah. No, but we were saying that.
Lost me. Sorry.
There you go. You got us back. We back? We froze.
No bueno.
That's all good. Technical difficulties.
Better. Wi-Fi.
Nice.
Cool.
It's all good.
Work.
They're
Why
like,
does work always have the worst connections? You know, these like they know they're
only when you using it for not work. In fact, that's how my job was. You use it for anything else, it's fantastic. But if you're not working, it's like nah. We gotta charge you for that.
Mhm.
T1, T2 type stuff.
So they always use Sprint.
Bro, I don't even want to talk about internet. I'm glad my internet's good now. But every time I think about it, I'm stressed. Stressed out.
It's a stressful thing.
Yeah. But hey, we're gonna carry it. We're gonna carry it till she gets back in here.
Yeah, it's all good, you know.
Appreciate everybody who joining in and all that good stuff. We got a few people in the comments. For those that don't know, we are a page, a movement. Oh, here we go. We might be getting something. But while I explain to people, we do reviews and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We review music in our own very unique and realistic, but also comical way. And it's not comical in a try hard, corny type way. It's more of like you ever have an ignorant uncle at a cookout and just everything he says is funny, but he's dead serious in that kind of way. You know,
He speaks facts here, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of
facts. He speaks facts. That's the kind of energy that we bring to this review stuff. But we do singles and projects and all that good stuff. But we do what we have now. We do interviews. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hey, here we go. It's all. I was carrying it. I was on my soapbox.
Hey,
I like
you with the pristine Wi-Fi.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So what we were saying before, what happened was it's good to see the change of the music because of now we got the weather changing. And honestly, this is the first weather change for the good to an extent of the world because the world's been closed for so long. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have some sort of light and, you know, them killing
daylight savings.
Yeah. But
yeah, they want to get rid of it, but I'm used to it already. I don't want them to get rid of it.
yeah, seasonal depression has become like a character trait of mine, you know?
A lot of people, you know,
They're taking that away from me. That's when I put out my best music. When
but we'll see how long it lasts. They always talk. They only last like maybe a year or so, and then they'll go right back to it.
Yeah.
Right. People will complain like they do about everything.
Pictures on Facebook.
It's wild how they have daylight savings, but like a company won't do shit about it. They'll just push an email about like work suicide, and they don't do like take away our hour, like cut our work hours during seasonal depression. Y'all got
makes sense.
Give us 2 hours off, like cut 2 hours off our 40-hour shift. We would appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, exactly. No, I get that. But that just means we make music for the times. Hey, we make music for people chilling at home when it gets dark at 4:30 p.m. Just kidding. That never happened. More like 5.
Yeah, 5 p.m. the sun is gone. And it's crazy.
Yeah, that's how it was. But yeah, I'm excited for spring though, and I'm excited to get out there and hopefully perform more. I performed for the first time last month, not for the first time ever, but in a long time, since 2019, live. And that was, I can't wait to do it again, is all I want to say. There is some recording of it, but it wasn't like filmed, so I don't have like my show up, but definitely want to do some more shows coming up. I definitely miss that stage because part of the passion is the performance art of it all, actually doing it. It's one thing to record music and you know, what's going on in the studio, magical, but what happens on stage is all the more magical. So I definitely miss that.
That's like the for me, I've been a huge fan of live music, been going to shows my whole life. I used to record shows. And to me, that's like the closing deal. You know, you can look up a house online, you know, we get our, you know, whatever those apps you use, Zillows and all that. When you go to the place, that's when you're like, yo, I need this place. Like that's when you get that, whether you love it or not. And a live show is that, like, that's where you get those fans that stick around, not just the playlisters and the shit like that. These are the fans that like will get weird once a month and be like, are you okay mentally? You know, those type of you want those fans.
Yeah, because the interactions you get when you're at the shows, you get to interact, have a personal feel with the people. You know what I'm saying? That's better than just like, oh, it's on Instagram or it's on Spotify, whatever. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, John, with those lasting fans, definitely people that stick out to me the most, fan-wise, they see me live, and they didn't know me, I didn't know them. And we got to know each other through my music, through them discovering me live. So that's so important.
Yeah, so important. It's a big part, and like that's why like a lot of upcomers they always I'm doing the backtrack stuff. They don't understand why people hate the backtrack and all that stuff. But it's like, yo, this is alive. This is personal. This is this is a real connection, and it's also amongst artists. It's a flex. It's kind of like, yo, this is for respect. Like, yeah, I just nailed that song and I breathed twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't fuck up once. Like, that's respect. Yeah, you see that shit. You're like, oh, we got an artist on stage. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, excuse me. Like, no lungs up there, but it's respect. And that connection, it's very real. And people don't appreciate that. A lot of the younger cats, they don't appreciate that. Like, because they're there for their set, but it's like, yo, until they go to a show that has 7 new age rappers or new age artists that do the same type of music, and they find one artist that like steals the show, that does something unique, that actually separates themselves from what was just happening, they won't understand it until that happens to them live,
Seriously. Yeah, totally. And I kind of experienced that my last show. I was super nervous, super nervous before, like days before. Day of the show, I was calm. Right up before the show, I was comfortable. There was no nerves. And usually I get real nervous right before I grab that mic. And that did not happen this time around. I was just more so nervous, anticipating the day coming up. But then once that day was there and it was, hours before the show, I just felt myself. I just felt like I got this. Like, what? Yeah. And then, to perform and to feel really good and to get a great response back after not doing it for a couple of years was just that verification. Like, this is you. This is what you do. Why are you getting nervous? Like, it don't matter how much time goes by. Like,
the voice reason comes
out. Like, you just have to do it. And it is. You get to see yourself, in comparison to other performers too. And if you're a realist, you'll know, and you'll be real with yourself if you know that someone else outperformed you. And then that's just motivation to go harder next time. Yeah. So
you learn. You see what they did. You see the preparation they put in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just more music. It makes you like, that's the thing with music. People think like, oh, once you hit a certain point, you're good. Like, no, you're never supposed to give up. Like, you're never supposed to stop, like, learn. You keep learning music. You always, until you're done, like, until you hang it up or you die, you have to keep getting better and keep evolving.
There's no limit. So.
None.
There's way too many genres.
Yeah, the concept of genres and all that are limits. They're limited. Yeah. They're gatekeeping. They're rules that you don't need. And it's like when you realize that doesn't matter, people realize, oh, the artists that I love do whatever the fuck they want. Like they're busy.
I mean, I think right now, mainstream wise, Doja Cat is a great example of doing what the hell she wants. Because her music, and fans get so irritated that she's in a pop category, she's in a rap category, she's in an R&B category, and it'll be like the same song in all those different categories.
The beauty of what she's doing, because
it is what it is. You can't really confine it.
You can't put her in a box.
Yeah,
can't.
You can't. And I think that that's really dope about her, and I think that I can relate in that aspect. Because although I call myself alternative R&B, it's more than that.
More than that.
I don't know exactly what to call it. And especially with what I'm doing now musically and what I've done in the past, none of it really sounds the same, in my opinion. But I think that's the beauty in it. And I think that when people try to confine themselves, they limit themselves, and then they're coming out with something that does sound the same over and over again, and that gets called out real fast.
And then, and what do? They blame the listener. You don't like my show. Oh, you're a hater. It's like, nah, bro, you stuck.
Yeah, it's one thing about having your own sound, and another thing to just make the same sound over and over.
Yeah, it's a huge two different things.
Yeah,
completely different things. Yeah, and a lot of artists don't get that, but that's the difference between like being an artist to just get paid or to be cool and all that, and being an artist because like music moves you, like music changes.
Yeah, and that determines who would last long in the game as well. The ones that are just in it for the the instant fame, they're gonna be weeded out. The ones that are in it for the passion, they're gonna stay waited out.
Most of these cats, and like let's keep it a buck, most of these cats in the music game, like coming up and now, like new cats, they're not great businessmen. They're not great business,
Lil Xan, man.
You're not Jay-Z of business, then you will not stay relevant. Like, in that aspect. So you have to be an artist. You got to work your ass off.
Yeah. And like when it comes to music, when people stay the same, I just keep going back to the word passion, because if you're not in it, then it's not going to be alongside you your whole life. Like, music is a part of me. There's nothing I could do to not like make music. Like there's no bone in my body that is not going to be making music in the future. Like, if that makes sense to you, like I'm always going to be doing this. And, just like the tide is going to change, but it's still the same ocean, still the same water. But it's going to change. It's going to go up and down. It's going to be still sometimes. And that's kind of how I think an artist should take their artistry and just kind of let it move you and not try to dictate everything. Because, it should come from inside. And my first EP, The Fallback, all of that came from inside. Like, I didn't say, I want to make a moody EP that, resembles fall a little bit. Like, it just organically came out, and it was about a certain topic, a realm of topics that were similar, and I just had to get it out of me. And a lot of people were telling me, like, your stuff's too slow, like make something more upbeat. I'm just like, that's not the vibe of this EP.
Yeah. No,
this EP is what it is, and I really could care less about what you think, because like it's what I want to do. As an artist, you should listen to people's opinion, but with this, I just needed to get it out. And I'm just like, I hear you. I will make some more upbeat music, just not right now. I need to get this out.
And that's like, to bring it up again, that's also part of the balance. Like, what people are saying is one thing, and that's cool to take constructive criticism, but like, no one's ever going to tell you your mood when you made something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's ever going to understand your mood. And it's like, bro, like, my mood made it the way this is. And it's like, this is where I'm at when this happened. And there's nothing I can do about that. You can tell me if, this needs to be fixed on that. The sound could be on there, but you can't tell me to change my mood. You know what I'm saying?
But the music becomes forced anyway when you try to force an upbeat fucking song when you're not even in that mind state. So, you're going to disappoint people. So why disappoint when, you can deliver better shit later?
Yeah, because it's like, I'm not going to write. If I'm not happy, why the hell would I write happy music? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Yeah, how is that going to come across anyway?
Yeah, how's that going to come out? It's like The Wedding Singer when he was crying and singing.
Dude, that was amazing.
No, it's never gonna work out. Like, if I'm in a down and out mood, I'm writing music for people who are with me. So when someone who's down and out hears this, they're like, fact, like, preach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's people that really rocked with that EP that I put out, and it was for them.
Yeah, that's when I actually first heard you hearing that EP, and I was like, oh, this is fucking solid. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was in that mood to hear that kind of music, so, you know what I'm saying? That was right in my alley.
Right. It's not for everyday listening, you know.
Yeah,
And I can respect that. And I'm a realist and I understand that. And I'm not offended by it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I get it. But I'm not limited to that. And I know that. And that's why I'm okay with, you know, the feedback and stuff. It's like, yeah, totally. I know I could do way more than that. So thank you. You know, it's like, it's fine. I'm going to just show you that I can make more music. So.
Exactly. It's infinite. Music is infinite. You could literally make any noise you want. Like you can do whatever you want. Music is infinite. So like, it's just how it is. Like you're going to be mad at somebody. Oh, why you not eating chicken? Because I'm eating chicken. Like, bro, I don't want no damn chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people be mad at vegetarians and vegans.
I know.
I see it all the time. I see the memes and all that.
It's so funny. It's like, who cares?
People can't mind their business. That's what it is. People can't mind their business. Just,
I guess
They
you're from
can't wrap their head around like that type of diet. And it's just like, whatever.
It's the worst.
Doesn't that mean like more meat for me? You know? Come
Like,
on.
let people live. Like, let people live.
Hey, look at the positive, right?
Yeah.
I'm neither, but I'm just saying. I am lactose intolerant though, so I can't have anything.
Oh man, you can't have ice cream. That's
No, she can have ice cream, sir. I make my own vegan ice cream. She can, and it's delicious.
It won't be the
Oh,
same.
you do? You actually do?
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Yeah, he gets crazy with shit.
I call myself a full-time vegan, like as in work shift. So I'm a vegan 40 hours a week. And I make everything from scratch, like from pasta, noodle, like everything from scratch. So whenever people are like, oh, you can't do that, like, yes, you can. Like, don't listen.
He has the witchcraft.
We got our substitutes, and they're great. You know, once you adjust, they're great. They're better. They're healthier.
I'll put cashew ice cream up against any dairy ice cream.
Ooh, even Ben and Jerry's?
Okay.
Yes. Cashew ice cream with all the other, because all Ben and Jerry's is just fatty milk cow ice cream with all the fun shit, which is just sugar. We got sugar too.
Yeah, we can do the sugar.
True that.
We can do cookies, some certain cookies, caramel. We could do that.
Yeah, we could do all of that. We can get even weirder with it. You know what I'm saying?
We can get weirder. I want to try your ice cream. I really do.
After I'll send you recipes. I got you. I was working on a cookbook, and I had like a bunch of recipes, and I was like, after once I stacked enough recipes, I was like, I might be a crazy person, so I just stopped. But I still make. I cook everything. Me, the lady.
So milkshakes was my favorite pastime, so I missed them a lot.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
It's coming back for you.
I got you on a milkshake that won't ruin your night, and you'll get some energy out of it, like real energy. I got you. Don't worry about these.
Protein shake.
Basically a protein shake, but it tastes like.
I used to rock with those too. Okay. Well, anyways.
Back on track, but yo, Reckless, I know you got your list, man. Take it over.
So I interviewed a contestant on this big like Mexican show where they do like singing in Spanish and all that. It's called Mucho Talento, Tengo Mucho Talento. And like one thing that one artist that I interviewed said that worst thing that happened was right before he was about to go up, he got a bloody nose and shit. Wow. So like, has anything crazy ever happened to you, or do you know, or what would be the worst thing that can happen to a singer when they perform?
Like before they go on stage or something? Yeah.
Or during, you know what I'm saying? Like what's something that you can tell me happened to you or someone else, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, nothing crazy has happened to me, luckily, as far as prohibiting me to perform or anything before. No, like for me, like I would just get really nervous and I would just have to like empty my bowels, like not my bowels, but like just make sure my stomach is completely empty, whether or not I have to use the bathroom or not. It's like a nervous thing in my stomach. And like that, I would have to do that right before I go on stage. So I'll be kind of frantic before almost every show. But that's just minor. But for me, I think it's anything with your throat, or if a singer is not fully prepared and they have a backing track and something messes up with the backing track. Like this happened to Mariah Carey. And well, for her issue was she couldn't hear herself. And she was sounding all crazy. That did happen to me. I opened up for Lloyd. You guys remember the R&B singer?
Yeah.
I opened up for him 2018. and this was at Complex in Oakland. And I want to say it was my worst show ever. It was both my biggest show ever and my worst show ever because I did not perform like I should have because I could not hear myself. And the playbacks that I heard, I was off. I was just off when I thought I was on because I couldn't hear.
That's scary.
And that's the worst. And that can happen to anybody. That happened to Normani a couple years ago. She's big right now. She couldn't hear herself. And she's way more trained and she was on a girl group before she went solo. So she has way more experience on the mic than I do. So in my opinion, she didn't sound that bad, but she got a lot of bad feedback from that performance because she couldn't hear herself. That is, I think, every singer's worst fear. If they're not like, for me, I do need some more training. I'm not a professional singer. I'm not like, I'm not trained. It's just pretty much natural that I've worked on it. I've trained myself by mimicking, but I should be at a place where even if I don't hear myself, the muscle memory of my throat is going to sing that song correctly. And I think that, a Beyonce, even if she didn't hear herself, she would hit that perfect, right? So like, I'm not there yet as a singer, and I know that. So that's just for me. And I am a smoker. Like
Same here.
Rihanna stopped
risks.
I think Rihanna did not want to continue making music because she's like, this weed is too good. And I get that. But I do not partake before a show. I do not partake before I record because that can mess you up too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
It's kind of a given. It's kind of like, duh. But it is what it is. That's what I gotta be mindful of to not mess up another show because I do not want to have another bad show again. So.
Yeah.
Mm. They'll haunt you. They'll haunt that whole venue for you.
I've had nothing like that crazy, but I've had some like weird experiences with shows, and I'm like, man, I'm like, I could never do that again.
Really? Was it like technical? Was it?
One was my most popular. My boy Grant, who's probably going to hear this, my engineer, because we were in a band together, and he's going to love this one because this is my band's favorite live performance of mine. We used to be in a band, like a hardcore band, punk band, and I like to smoke because I just get lost in my head. And you're at a different town, you're playing a show, a nice, decent show, and they're like, yo, let's get John high. And I got like so high that I was just afraid. So this is like, and mind you, I was in a punk band, so I was always high energy, causing destruction, being a lunatic. I was in the corner of the stage, just on the microphone, and the crowd was nowhere near me, and I did the whole set just like it was ridiculous, and they loved it. They were dying. They were like, "Oh,
yeah, I'm sure it was amusing." Like, what is this guy gonna turn and face us?
Oh my God! They could honestly. That's the only way they would have. If they would have picked me up and just faced me forward, I would have just been like this performing the whole time. I was terrified.
So wait, weed?
Yes,
marijuana.
You don't do that often, or
you don't partake in that at all.
And they tried to kill me. That's how I put it. They tried to kill me. And in my head,
created a funny story to tell.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm extremely light skinned. I don't know if I said this already, but I'm about as light skinned as it comes. Like,
show me your face, then show me your light skinned face. If you're light skinned, then you have. Okay. Yeah.
Like when the sun is out at a certain angle, I can tell you exactly when's the best time to take a selfie. Like, it's bad sometimes, but I gotta hide it. I gotta look tough. That's why I got tattoos, to look tough.
You went to that face like really fast. That's how I know you're light skinned. You won't feel like that. So that's funny.
It's tough. It hurts. It hurts sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But Reckless, you could go ahead. You could go.
So tell me your influences coming up in the music.
Oh, yeah. So really, at a young age, both my parents, they both adored music. They both listened to music all the time. My mother in particular would play it really loud while we all clean the house and stuff, like clean your room, play a bunch of music. And what she would play was typically rock. It was typically Metallica or Guns N' Roses or Tom Petty or Aerosmith. Like she was really into rock. And but she also really loved, you know, what was popping at the time. Like she really liked Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson. Like she really
was having a good time.
Yeah, control.
What was that?
She was having a good time, man. Music.
Oh, I was. I grew up on some great music. I was born in 91, the 90s. Just getting the, you know, coming out of the 80s and getting all of that music and then getting all the 90s music. Oh, man, I love 80s music. That's probably my favorite era. But, yeah, so Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, she would play some Mariah Carey songs, and then Whitney Houston. And that's kind of when I just started mimicking. I would mimic the rock songs too, don't get me wrong. But as far as like singing and just hearing something really beautiful, like what? And then trying it out and discovering that I could sing along, you know, and then developing that voice. That's kind of how I just started singing, just by listening and really liking what I heard. So when I was able to, you know, discover music of my own and develop my own interests, really, really young. The first album I bought was Aaliyah's One in a Million. I also bought a Tamia album. I also bought a Shakira album. I really like Shakira too. Yeah, but it really Aaliyah, I just identified with her, and I just loved everything she did, every single thing she did. It was just perfect to me. Yeah. And you know, when she had passed, I was musically lost, and that's how I can remember it. Just kind of being like, what the hell do I listen to now? And then because I was like really into R&B, like on my own. Coming out of the music that I got from my parents. Oh, and my dad, he was into oldies. So I got like Earth, Wind & Fire and Stevie Wonder, like all the good stuff from my dad as well. So it was just kind of like here and there. So my dad's African-American. My mother is Mexican. So I'm Mexican Black.
Fire.
So really, when I was able to listen to my own music, I just really loved the R&B genre. R&B was popping in the 90s. It was everything in the 90s. So I had so much good stuff from the male artists to the female artists alike. I was singing it all, mimicking it all, going deep, Toni Braxton deep, and then just like even like the baritones and freaking Boys to Men. Like I was trying it all. And I'm doing the highs too because I'm a female, but like I was trying the lows.
Oh yeah.
So I have a good low register that I want to play with more as a singer. But when Aaliyah passed, and you know we're in the 2000s now, R&B is still a thing, but we're going more into pop music. Yeah. It was nice, and Ashanti was cool, and Sierra was cool. But I kind of went back into my rock, and this was for me middle school era. And for people my age, we know that was our emo phase. So I was listening to all the bands at the time. Just a few, like Linkin Park was a big one for me, actually. Right. My whole family, well, not my dad, but my whole family, I have two brothers. We love Linkin Park. And then I also like, you know, my Chemical Romance was big for me. Yellow Card, I met them, seen them live. And then all kinds of other bands. And then I started getting into independent bands, not mainstream. And that's been my cup of tea ever since. I have not left the indie rock. Never left it. To this day, that's basically what I listen to. Because R&B didn't really revive that much. And,
no, not really.
There's still good music, there's still good artists, but as a mainstream thing, where are we at mainstream? It's just hip hop and pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, R&B, I don't know what it was. I feel like R&B was too powerful. And the music industry had to nerf it. They were like, we need something way easier, because like if you think about all the like people that ran R&B, they were massive talents.
Huge. The biggest artists, to be honest.
Boys to Men, you know, Jagged Edge, all those, they were all like massive talent. Like even Drew Hill, like everyone loves Cisco, but like all of Drew Hill, they were.
Oh, Drew Hill, yeah. I love Drew Hill more than Cisco's.
Yeah, like the talent was so real, and it's like, we can't mass produce this.
No.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about it.
That and the message. They didn't want to push the lovey-dovey message anymore. They wanted to push the I'm going to cheat on you and you're going to cheat on me and F you, B word. And, you know.
Yeah, they wanted to push the drama. What's crazy is like, even, you know, even as unforgiving, as unforbidden as it is to mention him, like R. Kelly had some of the greatest love songs of all the time.
Ballads and shit.
Yeah, like songs that like would just warm you up. Like, oh my God, like this song, you know. And then you know, even when he started to realize times were changing, then he turned into ratchet ass. You know, then it started getting
collaborations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely. I feel the industry had to nerf R&B, and it sucks because you don't get that type of feeling now. And those dudes are still out here killing it. Like I saw Boys to Men right before the pandemic, and they did a full like it was like an hour and something set, but they did like a whole barbershop quartet section of it. They did a whole like throwback set, but it was like the talent. It was unbelievable. It was like unbelievable, bro. And it's like these old dudes are up here going crazy. And it's like they're doing all this. And like, how are they still not? You know what I'm saying? They never left. But like they're, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't think of a funeral in real life or in the movies where I don't hear them singing. And like I hear it when I see funerals. I'm like, what happened? How'd the industry just forget about them? It's crazy. Or Casey and JoJo, it's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's actually one of my questions.
Oldies to us now. It's like our new oldies. Like the oldies of our time is what the 60s and 70s, you know? And now it's becoming the oldies, which is
R&B is the new jazz.
Yeah, it's what it is, you know.
R&B is the new jazz.
You think it can make a resurgence, a comeback, and how would you think it would go? People would go about it. How should?
I think where we're going, we will continue to go. I don't think we'll ever turn back around.
Yeah.
But it's not up to us. Like it's up to the radio. I mean, the record labels. It's really up to them and who they push and how they push them. And what they're doing is what they want to do with music. Yeah. They want all the artists to look and sound the same for some reason, when in the past, all artists was different. You get something from this artist and you get something different from this artist. And you have a playlist of music that's a compilation of all good things. But nowadays, it's just kind of like you have a group of music that all sounds the same. They just all have different voices, you know? They're all talking about the same thing. Their beats sound the same. But they just have their own flair or something one thing that separates them from everyone else.
They found a way to they found a way to mass produce it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I should touch to each one just to make it a little bit
different. Instruments anymore. And then it's like when you do have something like that, then it's a gimmick. So it's like, oh, with a live band, we could sell this for more. Or like, look at Leon Bridges. He built his career around sounding like the oldies, and now he's a pop star. You know what I'm saying? It's like we use that as a gimmick just to make sure people know we still know it, but we're going to do easy stuff because there's no need for live instruments. There's no need they can do a backing track on a full $1 million live tour the whole time. Doesn't matter. Keep it going. Keep pushing it. We're making money, you know?
What do you guys think about Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, and Anderson .Paak?
Love it.
Yeah, they're dope.
Do you think that they will switch up, or do you think they're going to stick with that?
Honestly, they could, but they probably won't. They'll have a couple tracks here and there that'll have that feel that you like, just to give you that sample taste, but they'll just go right back to the whole shit. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do more or anytime soon. I don't think they're going to put out any more Silk Sonic anytime soon.
That was kind of like, here's the album.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like a resurgence. That was kind of placing Pac in the upper echelon.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's going to happen again. Because if you look at like even Bruno Mars's track record, he doesn't release that much. He is a mega star. So he could release something every 3 years and he's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to have him release a collaboration project, that was like a huge move, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna hear still Silk Sonic and like, you know, on commercials and movies in the future. Like that money is gonna come back in its own way, but they're never gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna go back to just
their own music. Yeah, unless Anderson pushes for another one, if he had a really good time making it, or if the other one had a good time making it, you never know. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
That makes sense. I mean, what would they do really? Yeah, one and done project.
Yeah, one and done. So like I said,
Yeah, because it's like what could they do? Like,
what
do
could
they
do to keep it up? It would just
yeah, they're
overwhelming to take it on again.
Why would they box themselves in like a gimmick essentially? Because it's an oldie project with a new age twist, but they're both phenomenal talent. Like Pac is
and they nailed it.
Machine.
They nailed it. What they were trying to do, I think. I think they did it well.
Oh yeah.
If they would have had more people inspired to make that sound, then it would have gone on more. They probably would have made them do more, but no one picked up on it.
What is his name? I think Thundercats. Thundercats. Is that what his name is, right? Thundercats, right?
That weird dude, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the show, but is that?
I think
yeah, that's the name of the guy too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He was doing something similar, or he is doing something similar.
Yeah. He's the bassist.
Cool. Yeah.
But even him, he's kind of like, he's in the main light because of like TikTok and stuff. And then it's like, but to keep him there is very tough because like, you know,
he's a weirdo. I think that's why people. He's a freaking weirdo.
That's the name itself, you know, Thundercat.
I like him.
It's gonna be his downfall when they realize he's too weird, where they can't control him. He's gonna.
Kanye West. Just.
Oh. God,
geez, yeah. Tell me your top 5 favorite artists of all time.
Ooh.
All time.
Yeah. Or we can also do R&B as well. What's your list you want to start with?
Things. Well, I can easily say for me, Aaliyah, Sade, Michael Jackson. I love me some Michael Jackson. And I hate how they try to tarnish his name.
No, I hate that shit too.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's quick and easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's an underground singer. Her name is Estero. She's unmatched. She never had to be mainstream for me to think that she's up there with these people.
Mm-hmm. The last one's always the hardest.
Yeah. It's like, who can box with these gods?
Man, I'm trying to like just, I'm thinking all
I not to say R. Kelly.
Beautiful music, bro. It's soft, bro. Man.
R. Kelly, I mean, you can't deny him. Me personally, he did not connect with me. I can't, like, he's not in, I have this extensive R&B playlist and I don't think I have any R. Kelly songs in it.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not to be sorry no more.
You dodged that wave, man. Was, for me, like,
I like him. He has such a great voice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But he's a great songwriter. I mean, he realistically, I mean, not to, you know, just to spit my music facts, he wrote those Ali albums.
Oh, I know. I mean, I know. You can't deny it.
Yeah,
you can't deny it. And even like artists like Avant, you can hear them trying to sound like it. Like you hear artists of today trying to sound like Chris Brown. You can hear some of the R&B guys trying to mimic R. Kelly, and I get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm just gonna go ahead and say my favorite rapper, which is Nas.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm gonna just.
Godson.
I got a underground artist, I got a rapper, and then I got just my 3 that will always be in the list no matter what. It's pretty random.
Enough to see Sade multiple times live, and I will hold that.
Oh, lucky man.
The experience wasn't the best, but it wasn't because of her. It was because John Legend opened for her, and I was
gross.
And I was a 20-year-old at a show with a bunch of like very hungry older women, and it was a nightmare. I like. the only way I could put it is like, you know, the fear when like the news shows like the West Indian Day parades and all that stuff and how dudes get a little rowdy when they get that rum punch in them. And it's like, bro, leave the ladies alone. I was like that. Like I was getting harassed.
Oh, you say hungry, but you meant thirsty.
Yeah. See, for them, they're hungry. Because thirsty is like, oh, you know, you're cute. They were like,
they're starving.
John Legend like hit a note, and I had to hide. Like I was like, I gotta get out. It was scary, bro. It was
I don't even care if if I ever was to get famous, this resurfaces. John Legend is just a grown baby. He is a baby that was somehow like aged, but he's a baby, and his voice is good sometimes.
He's good. And I know people John Legend has to be, for me, he is a master when it comes to recreating, like when it comes to stuff that reminds me of like the blaxploitation era. Then he's a master, but I can't give him everything. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, oh, he's my number one choice, the greatest singer. No. But when he does shit with like Kanye, or when he works with like Roots,
Kanye, yeah.
He works with like, you know, those sounds
that
are
a good voice sometimes.
Yeah. Some things just don't fit him, and I get that. Like him doing a lot of the mainstream stuff he does just doesn't always work. But when he does like the old, like very grounded, but like black stuff, it's fire.
Okay,
that's like his.
That. And he's a great pianist. He's very, you know.
Yeah. He's talented. I mean, he's talented, but.
He's definitely talented. I don't knock that.
Yeah, a little overhyped. I get it. I get where you're going.
You're a little
Him and his wife. Mm-hmm.
She used to just, I hate that she's been like nerfed online. She used to just bully him publicly, and I thought it was fantastic. Like on Twitter, it used to be great.
That girl.
They shut it down, and it's upsetting. But he was on that Will wave.
or the Will, you know, Jay. Yeah. They were the ones.
So I got a question. We're speaking of top fives and stuff like that. So because I'm a fan of your music, the stuff that I've heard, and I'm like, I do like your sound, and I think your vibe is dope. What are 5 albums that you like that shaped you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Those albums that like changed your life. Like 5 albums that if you put them on now, you're in a time machine.
Go on.
Ooh. Albums.
Like these are like ones where you're like, I don't know what to listen to. I guess I might as well put one of these on, you know.
Or reliables.
Well, I actually wasn't much of an album collector.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I'm sorry.
Don't mind him.
I was in the past, but then when once LimeWire, Kazaa, all of that.
Yeah, that's what I was on too.
I was a MP3er. And then, make my own playlist, right?
You are an iPod shuffler.
You don't know.
I'm sorry.
Button for shame.
But honestly, like my favorite album, one that shaped me, and I'm just, I mean, this is easy.
I'll take one. I'll take one. I said, I'll take one. If you can give me one, I'll take one.
Well, this one really shaped me because I was still really young. This was Aaliyah's last album, her Red album. Every song on that album, to me, is timeless in such a way that it was before its time, and it's still before its time today.
I was going to say, like, when they recently just got it on all streaming, I loved it for like a week straight. I'm like, it's still, because I was a big fan of that. It still hits. Still.
Yeah, when I hear those songs, it's so. It's like I want to do her some justice and just like do a set and perform her album because she didn't really get to do that.
No.
She was too like too
she
short.
Perform her album, and it's just like. I'm just kind of like, that's kind of like a little dream of mine to do. And this, I'm talking first song to last song. It really touched me, that album. I'm trying to think of other albums beginning to end, like literally that album, but I can't. I was always bad with album names. Like I would always pick my songs out the album and then be done with it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I was a CD collector. I mean, I was from the Walkman era. So
I'm sure. I had just came out of that because I bought my first Walkman with the headphones, and that's when I got my CD disc, and I felt so legit. But it was not too far after that the internet just came and gave us MP3s. So
okay, that's fair. I'll let that slide.
Yeah.
I'm hurt, but I'll let it slide.
I need to work on that. I need to do some inner reflection and really figure out what albums really mean something to me.
Yeah. So it's not too late to go back and just look up albums now. Just hear them and see what you like, what feels good to you.
Because like that's the thing. Like back in the day, like I remember one R&B album that one of my favorite R&B albums of all time, even till this day, was Emotional by Carl Thomas. And I remember when the single I Wish came out, I was like, this is a bop. And I'm like, this song's good. Everybody's singing it. I'm singing it, memorizing it, trying my best to memorize it off the radio. But when I got old enough to like buy an album and I bought that album and I got the full story, I was like, this is a masterpiece. I like love that album. You know what I'm saying? And it's shit like that I always love.
They put their time into albums back then because it did tell a story. It did give you a feeling that made sense. Like the whole album, it just like, it was a vibe in itself and it was very consistent. That's not the case anymore, I don't feel like.
It's a shame.
What happened to interludes, What happened to those little skits and stuff that really connected songs together? All that stuff I miss. Even just the long outros, like songs like 5 minutes, and you wouldn't even realize it. Like
even like the bonus tracks that would be on a song, you have to wait.
Or hidden bonus tracks. You're like, oh, there's an extra song.
Silence.
Excited.
Like, that was a treat.
That's all of that.
Yeah, shit, like that was a treat. That's why I hold on to like a few albums that I'm like, yo, these are still it.
Oh, I got stacks of albums of everything I have, dude. Like, even down to like the obscure like Lumi D albums, I'll have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have actually. She brought it up. You mentioned Tamia, and her first like wave of releases, I was upset. I was in love with her.
She's such a great singer. She's so pretty.
Oh yeah, and I was her and Maya.
Maya, man,
huge fan.
Honestly, Maya.
To this day,
Maya's on her vegan. She looks younger than she did when she came out.
Maya was, I think, she didn't get the credit she deserved.
None. No. Super underrated. Because she was, you know what it is, and I'll keep her. It's because she was skinny back in the day.
She always had a little shape,
but she was skinny compared to like Ashanti was, was out here thick as hell. Like, and like then you had when they were making J-Lo thick, everybody had something when they were showing. She was just like the skinny. To me, she was goddess. Like I'm like, yes.
Yeah. But my love was like, whoa, video.
She tried to look that part.
She was the best thing about Moulin Rouge.
But like, look on who she was with on Moulin Rouge. All of them were thick monsters, man.
And she stood out to me out of all those still.
Because she was the baddest, but like that's not what the market was. Then you had.
They were all killing it in their own rights during that time, and Maya was, dwindling. But I think Maya was a force. I think she still is. I think she came out with recent, not super recent, pre-COVID. She came out with some music videos, and I was like, "This is dope. Why isn't this getting pushed? Like, what is going on?"
Yeah, super dope. Yeah, she's been doing she's been working. She's always
steady dancing. She was always great at dancing. Yeah. She tap dance like.
Yeah.
I just feel like it just sucks how the labels choose who's on top and who's not. And like, they could care less about really like the demand. If the demand isn't paying for it, they could give a fuck about what that says. They just want who's paying for it.
Yeah, that's all they care about. It's just coming from.
Shame. Yeah. But last question I got for you. So it's been 3 years since you dropped the Fallback. So what's next for you? What's the next project?
My next project, right now, I don't have an album in the works. I have a bunch of singles.
Nice.
I just dropped my latest single, Hopeless Romantic. You guys played it on your platform. That was so amazing. Thank you for doing that. I dropped that and I did the music video for it. That is kind of like a different sound I'm going for. It's more, what word can I say? Urban. It has more attitude. And it's more hip hop in a way, with my beat choices. I definitely want to incorporate choreography because I am a hip hop dancer. So I want to showcase that more. I briefly dabbled in the video. I didn't have full choreography in the video, but I definitely want to just expand on that. I'm going to drop my second single. It's going to be called So What? So this is an exclusive. The song is called So What? And I'm going to be dropping that soon. I'm just kind of feeling when's the right time. It's spring, but it doesn't really feel like it all that much. It's still right now it's gloomy outside, but I'm in New York. The right time to drop that one. Thinking about a visual to put with it. But I definitely wanted Hopeless Romantic to breathe a little bit more and for people to hear that. And because I felt really strongly about that one. To me, it was a lot different from my other songs, just my delivery and how I just wrote the song. But yeah, the next song, So What, should be coming out, I'm gonna just say right at the beginning of summer, summertime.
All right.
And I've seen a pattern with myself. I typically release stuff end of summer, beginning of fall. Mm-hmm. I've seen a trend, not on purpose, but I'm not trying to stick with that trend. I want to release stuff more often. So definitely once I release this song, I'm going to be thinking about when that next album is going to come out. But I just want to release singles. I just want people to listen, and I just want some feedback right now. Dropping a whole album, it's overwhelming for people. They don't want to listen to every song. So I'm just going to give people tastes here and there before I do the next album or /EP, whatever. But I definitely just want to take this time to perform. I just want to perform Hopeless Romantic as much as possible. And the last show I did perform So What? That was an exclusive for them to hear that. When I write new music, I tend to, if I have a show coming up and I have a new song, I tend to perform it because I just want to feel it live. Like it's kind of like a little practice for me, it's for me really. When I want to perform a new song that's unreleased, it's just verification for me whether I need to move forward with the song or not. And that one, I'm definitely moving forward with it. It got great responses, so I can't wait to share that with you guys. Maybe play it again when I drop it. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Oh, super, super. Yeah, we're definitely down. Definitely down. Yo, again, we don't want to keep you forever. We like to keep these about an hour. But, this was super dope. And we're ready for whatever you're going to drop. Let us know. Keep in touch. Let us know when the new stuff's coming out. We like to get our share on, hopefully when we get the page back, because I'm putting it out in the universe to Instagram.
Right.
We can share it on there.
I thought I found your page, but it didn't pop up as quickly as it should have. It was probably
like a fake page.
A fake one.
Yeah, somebody try to take the name.
You can get.
It has your logo though.
I know. Apparently, you can get. So we had the fake page and we had people reporting them. And apparently that can get your account disabled as well.
That's up there. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's one of the. Yeah, apparently it's a thing. I've been, the 2 weeks of just trying to figure out how to get our page back. And someone was like, yo, this happens. And I'm like, well, that's terrible to hear.
So someone created a page with your name or you got hacked?
They created a page with our name. It's just got like an extra Z or 2 Z's in it. And they copied a couple of our posts, took our logo and our links.
Super lame.
Yeah, very lame. I mean, that's what happens. It happens in this. Yeah. But either way, we truly appreciate you chopping it up with us. We'll let you know when we get this, out and about, when I chop the video, make it nice and pretty, let everyone hear it. But this was super dope, man. Definitely keep in touch. I'm going to hit you up from my artist page. That's where I tagged you from. Keep in touch, man. I'd love to see just the path you're on, man. I like to see see you working. I like to see music. I'm a big fan of music, obviously.
Yeah, same here. It's been following your career for a good minute now, so I'm happy to see what you got coming out next. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Reckless. And you are just dope at just supporting people. That support, that word right there, that's all we ask for as artists.
Just a little bit.
That's literally all we ask for. It makes our day, it makes our year, it makes our life.
Yeah.
To just that response, that feedback, that just knowing that we are supported, that it goes forever long. So I appreciate you a lot, Reckless. You're dope.
I take that to heart when it's up to supporting artists. I love to do that, so it's no problem at all.
Thank you to the commenter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, before we sign off, let everybody know where to follow you.
Yes. www.januarytheartist.com. I got my own website. I'm on all social medias as January the Artist, except Twitter. On Twitter, it's just Janu the Artist. I could not fit the airy because it was too long. But everywhere else, it's January the Artist. My Snapchat is neither. You got to ask me for it. I don't share that.
No, they don't need that.
Yeah. So Instagram, YouTube, find me there, subscribe, follow, all the above. I stay busy. I'm going to be posting stuff all the time. Follow the journey because it's not going to end. It's not going to end. It's only going to get better.
Yeah. And it's got a rebirth. It's got a fresh new restart with the world opening up. So
it sure does. And I'm definitely going to get into my acting more. I did a movie / it was a short docu-film that I did prior to COVID. I did the sequel to it last year that should be out this year. But I am going to take my acting more seriously. I think that I can do that too as an artist. Hey, I do it all.
Yeah, so, you're an artist, not limited.
Not limited at all. I can read a script. So yes, follow.
All right, no doubt, man. Yeah, let us know when that drops too. But again, we truly appreciate you. This was super, super dope. And for everybody who tuned in, we appreciate y'all. We are actually going to go live right after this because we have to do our week recap of all the shit that we reviewed last week. So stay for that. Hey, Killa Billa said love her. There you go.
Killa Billa. What's up, girl?
But again, we are signing off, people. We are ending this live, man. We hope y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.